Hello, Matujima, and you're watching Hornbill TV. The rules for the controversial Citizenship Amendment Act passed in 2019 was notified yesterday, weeks before the nation votes to elect a new government. The centre had maintained that rules will come into effect before 2024 polls. The CAA makes it easier for non-Muslim migrants from Bangladesh, Pakistan and Afghanistan to get Indian citizenship. The law is applicable to all migrants who arrived in India on and before December 31st, 2014. Let's just break down to our viewers what exactly CAA is, what it does and what its intentions are. Now firstly, what is CAA? CAA stands for the Citizenship Amendment Act. It is an Indian law passed in December 2019 that provides a path to Indian citizenship for certain religious minorities from neighboring countries. Specifically, it allows for expedited citizenship for Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, Jain, Parsi and Christian immigrants from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan who entered India before December 31st, 2014. The law sparked widespread controversy and protests, particularly due to concerns about its potential exclusionary effects on Muslim immigrants and its impact on India's secular principles. Under the 2019 amendment of the Act, migrants who entered India till December 31st, 2014 and had suffered religious persecution or fear of religious persecution in their country of their origin would be made eligible for accelerated citizenship. The 2019 amendment to CAA further relaxed the residence requirement for naturalization of these migrants from 12 years to just 6. The Intelligence Bureau report on CAA said that there will be over 30,000 immediate beneficiaries from the Act once the rules of the same are notified. Here are the 5 major points to understand what CAA is. Firstly, the law seeks to provide citizenship to Hindus, Jains, Christians, Sikhs, Buddhists and Parsis who came to India on or before December 31st, 2014 from Bangladesh, Pakistan and Afghanistan. Second, the Indian citizenship will be granted to the immigrant who has lived in India in the last 1 year and at least 5 of the last 14 years. Earlier, for the migrant, citizenship by naturalization was 11 years. Third, the law exempts the tribal areas of Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Tripura as included in 6th schedule of the Constitution, including the tribal areas of Karbi Anglong in Assam, Garo Hills in Meghalaya, Chakma district in Mizoram and Tribal Areas district in Tripura. Fourth, there were massive protests in some parts of the country, including the northeastern region, after the CAA was passed by Parliament in December 2019 and got the presidential assent. Fifth, the Union Home Minister Amit Shah had earlier said that CAA rules would be notified and implemented before the Lok Sabha polls. Now, the CAA was passed by the Parliament on December 11, 2019 and was notified on December 12 of the same year. However, the Act was not implemented as the rules were not notified. After over 4 years of amending the Act, it was reported that the Union Home Ministry would notify the rules of CAA before the Lok Sabha elections, tentatively scheduled for April to May 2024. According to the annual report of the Ministry of Home Affairs for 2021 to 2022, from April 1, 2021 to December 31st, 2021, a total of 1,414 foreigners belonging to these non-Muslim minority communities from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan were given Indian citizenship by registration of naturalization under the Citizenship Act 1955. Right since the government's announcement of the amendment framework for CAA in 2019, widespread protests from various communities and organizations in India had been its most telling feature. After the CAA was passed by the Parliament in December 11, 2019 and was notified in the same year, there was a massive protest against the amendment in several parts of the country. The protests went right into the period when the pandemic was spreading in India in early 2020. The protests instead lasted till about February 2020 before the pandemic took the growl out of the agitations across India. According to reports, the anti-CAA protests began in Assam in the northeast region. The agitation then spread across Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh, Tripura and then to Delhi, which also led to widespread arrests and even deaths during the uproar. Years later, the implementation of the CAA has raised a fear of the re-emergence of the widespread protests that characterized 2019 and early 2020. The Union Home Ministry on Monday notified rules for implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Act days ahead of the announcement of the Lok Sabha elections schedule. On March 12, the Guwahati police had issued a stern legal notice to political parties planning a Sarpat Mak Hartal in Assam to protest against the CAA and warned of legal action if there is any damage to public or private property during the demonstration. The notice addressed to the United Opposition Forum orchestrating the protest ordered the organization to withdraw the Sarpat Mak Hartal and cooperate in maintaining peace in the state. The Sarpat Mak Hartal is likely to lead to road blockade, forceful closure of shops and other business establishments, damage to public and private property including railway, NHA, thereby disrupting the delivery of essential services, the notice said. Further, calling of such Sarpat Mak Hartal will lead to highway and railway track blockade, which has been declared as illegal and unconstitutional by various judgments of the Supreme Court of India, Kerala High Court as well as Guwahati High Court. In this regard, your attention is drawn to the specific order passed by the Guwahati High Court, the notice added. The Guwahati police in its notice maintained that if there is any damage to public life and property during the protest, the total cost of damage to public and private properties will be recovered from the organization holding the protest under the provision of law including Indian Penal Code and Prevention of Damage to Public Property Act 1984. The All Assam Students Union burned a copy of the CAA rules in Guwahati and other parts of the state on Monday evening, protesting against the centre's move to implement the CAA. All Assam Students Union Chief Advisor Samujal Bhattacharya claimed that CAA threatens the Assam Accord of 1971, which ensures the protection of Assamese cultural, economic and political rights. It is injustice to the people of Assam and northeastern region. Indigenous people of Assam and northeastern region are rejecting CAA because it is communal, unconstitutional, anti-indigenous, anti-northeast and violation of the Assam Accord, said Samujal Bhattacharya. With the sudden announcement of the implementation of the law by the BJP-led central government, last evening protests erupted in different parts of the state. During a protest by the Krishok Mukti Sangram Samiti in Srivsagar, police detained the protesting members. Situation remains grim in the area. The Aam Aadmi Party Assam members also staged a protest against the implementation of CAA in front of the party state office 2 kilometers from the state secretariat in Guwahati on Monday at evening.
Hi, 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 hi. namano. Namano. Amin namano. Namano. Kendra soka hi. Kendra soka lele sese. Kendra soka hi. BJP होशियार. BJP होशियार. BJP होशियार.
After the law was passed in 2019, the Union Home Ministry took extensions at regular intervals from the committees for framing the rules for eligible people to submit applications for Indian citizenship. The centre notified the rules of the Citizenship Amendment Act on March 11, 2024. These rules come months after Union Home Ministry Minister Amit Shah promised that this would be done before the 2024 national polls due to this summer. According to the rules, the entire procedure to submit the applications for Indian citizenship under the law will be online for all those eligible for applying. Now, let's have a look at where is CAA already in force. Since 2022, the Government of India has authorized 31 districts magistrates and home secretaries across 9 states to grant Indian citizenship to Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis and Christians who have migrated from Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Pakistan under the Citizenship Act of 1955. These states include Gujarat, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Haryana, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Delhi and Maharashtra. According to the Ministry of Home Affairs annual report for 2012 to 2022, at least 1,414 individuals from these non-Muslim minority communities from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan were conferred Indian citizenship through registration of naturalization under the amended Citizenship Act of 1955. Let's have a look at the places where the CAA does not apply. The amendments introduced by the Citizenship Amendment Act (CAA) do not apply to areas covered by the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution. These areas include autonomous tribal dominated regions in Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. Consequently, migrants belonging to identified communities from Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan based on religion cannot be granted Indian citizenship if they reside in these areas. Additionally, the CAA does not apply to states with an inner line permit (ILP) regime primarily found in Northeast India. An ILP is a special permit required for non-residents to enter and stay in these states for a limited period. The ILP system is operational in Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Nagaland, Manipur, Lakshadweep and Himachal Pradesh. Now again, when it comes to CAA, Assam has a different case. In Assam, opposition to the Citizenship Amendment Act primarily arises from concerns regarding its potential impact on the Assam Accord of 1985 and the National Register of Citizens (NRC) process. The Assam Accord, signed between Rajiv Gandhi government at the centre and leaders of the Assam movement, was a response to a 6-year-long agitation against illegal immigration from Bangladesh. It mandated the detection and deportation of individuals who entered Assam from Bangladesh after March 24, 1971. Opponents of the CAA argue that providing a pathway to citizenship for certain migrants contradicts the spirit of the Assam Accord, which remains an emotive issue in the state. Now let's have a look at why the implementation of CAA was delayed. The notification of the Citizenship Amendment Act was delayed due to 2 reasons. Firstly, it was the outbreak of mass protests in several parts of the country and leading to the clashes between the agitators and the authorities and the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic that hit India in March 2020. According to the Manual on Parliamentary Work, rules for any legislation should be framed within 6 months of presidential assent or seek an extension from the committees on subordinate legislation in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Since 2020, the Union Home Ministry has been seeking extensions at regular intervals. Now let's see what changes will come with CAA. The Citizenship Act of 1955 prohibited illegal immigrants from obtaining Indian citizenship. Those who entered India without valid travel documents or overstayed their permitted period were classified as foreigners and were subject to deportation. However, the government introduced the Citizenship Amendment Act as an enabling law specifically for Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, Jain, Parsi and Christian migrants, minorities from Afghanistan, Bangladesh or Pakistan who fled religious persecution and arrived in India before 2015. CAA also provides these migrants with immunity from legal proceedings for their illegal entry or overstaying in India. Previously, migrants were required to reside in India for at least 11 years to qualify for citizenship. With CAA, this residency requirement has been reduced to not less than 5 years for eligible persecuted minorities. Not every political party or community support the implementation of CAA. Let's see why. Opposition of the Citizenship Amendment Act has been based on two main premises. First, concerns about discrimination against Muslims, and second, apprehension about its potential implications for the delayed National Population Register NPR 2020 and the contentious proposal of implementing a National Register of Citizens NRC at either the state or national level. Civil society has criticized the CAA as accusing the government of advancing a Hindutva agenda. The enactment of the CAA coincided with the NRC exercise in Assam, where the draft list of citizens released in June 2018 excluded about 20 lakh people who failed to provide documented proof of their original residency in the state. The assemblies of at least 6 Congress and left-leaning states at the time, Punjab, West Bengal, Kerala, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, passed resolutions against the implementation of the CAA, urging the central government to revoke the amendments. The BJP government announced its development. Several opposition leaders have also voiced their concerns and shared their thoughts. The Bharatiya Janata Party and its allies have naturally supported the CAA, and the opposition parties have also naturally again expressed strong opposition to it. The voice across the opposition spectrum, from the Trinamool Congress to the Indian National Congress to the Aam Aadmi Party, has been consistent. No implementation of the amendment in the states. According to the TMC chief and the West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, the CAA is the BJP's publicity for elections and nothing else. In Kerala, the state's Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan simply said the state will not implement it in Kerala. He described the CAA as a law that creates division along communal lines and affirmed that it will not be put into effect in the southern state. As for the country's most storied party, the Indian National Congress, the CAA is all about polarization of the diverse communities in India. For the Samajwadi Party, the CAA is distraction. The party's chief Akhilesh Yadav called the implementation of the CAA rules the BJP's game of distraction. He said that the government at the centre should explain why lakhs of citizens gave up their citizenship of the country during the 10-year rule. Elsewhere, the All India Majlis-e-Ittihaadul Muslimin believes that the Citizenship Amendment Act is a tool that targets only Muslims. The party's chief Azauddin Owaisi said that the CAA is divisive and based on Mahatma Gandhi's killer Nathuram Godse's thought that it wanted to reduce Muslims to second-class citizens. Give asylum to anyone who is persecuted, but citizenship must not be based on religion or nationality, Azauddin Owaisi stated. Further, the Aam Aadmi Party, a party that is becoming a major problem for the BJP, has described the centre's move to notify CAA rules as an action against the country. AAP chief and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal said that the Narendra Modi-led government move to notify the Citizenship Amendment Act rule is against the country. He claimed people will respond to it in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. Let's see what the other opposition leaders had to say about CAA.
पहले मेरे को रूल्स देखने दीजिए. आई एम जस्ट वॉचिंग द नोटिफिकेशन. अभी नोटिफिकेशन नहीं निकाला, रूल्स नहीं निकाला. रूल्स नोटिफिकेशन में अगर हम देखेंगे कि ये डिप्राइव कर रहा है लोगों का अधिकार को, तो हम उसको खिलाफ में लड़ेंगे. हम पहले हमको देखने दीजिए. आई एम वॉचिंग. हम जब रूल्स निकालेंगे हम उसको स्टडी करके जो बताना है कल बताएंगे. लेकिन मैं आज बोल दिया कि एक बीजेपी का इलेक्शन पब्लिसिटी है, नथिंग इज देयर. तो 20 साल में एक कानून पास हुआ था, उसका बाद 4 साल बीत गया. लेकिन अभी चुनाव जब आते हैं एक कुछ गाल गाप गप पकड़ते हैं. ये भी एक गाप गप है, लेकिन असली फायदा किसी को नहीं मिलेगा.
After a very long time of more than 3.5 years, they have notified, and they would have taken a decision earlier itself. Who said no? Now at the time of elections, where there will be a lot of communal issues may start. We don't want anything to start. We want a peaceful country. We want all sections of the society to be together. So this is not the right time They could have taken earlier whatever the stand required because they are the absolute majority. The timing of taking a decision is completely wrong, number one. Number two, that was not needed for this country.
ये बहुत ही गलत कदम है। 2019 दिसंबर में ये जब सीए कानून पारित हुआ था, उस समय भी हमारे पार्टी सीपीएम ने उसका विरोध किया और विरोध का आधार ये था कि हिंदुस्तान की नागरिकता कभी भी धर्म के साथ नहीं जोड़ा गया है और जिस रूप में ये कानून लाया गया था वो बहुत ही भेदभाव आधारित था। आज जब पता चला कि वो पूरा नोटिफिकेशन करके वो सारा कुछ लागू कर रहे हैं, उसका भी हम उतना ही विरोध करते हैं। और तीसरी बात है, इस नियमावली में जो नोट करने वाली बात है वो ये है कि पूर्ण रूप से वो केंद्र सरकार को सब अधिकार देते हैं। प्रदेश सरकारों का कोई भी इसमें अपने प्रदेश के और अपने जिम्मेदारी निभाने की कोई भी वहाँ स्थान नहीं दिया गया। आप बताइए, नियमावली में जो पैनल बनाए जाएंगे उसमें पोस्ट मास्टर पोस्टल सर्विसेज के रहेंगे, रेलवेज के रहेंगे, लेकिन स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का केवल 2 आमंत्रित सदस्य रहेंगे। तो एक तो ये कानून गलत था, दूसरी बात है जो इस समय उन्होंने पारित किया है वो पूरे तौर पर चुनाव को प्रभावित करके ध्रुवीकरण को दोबारा बनाने का इनका पूरा प्रयास है। और तीसरी बात है, ये नियमावली ही पूरे तौर पर फेडरल कैरेक्टर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन पर हमला करता है।
10 साल से ये सरकार जुमलेबाज सरकार है, ये अब स्पष्ट हो चुका है। जिस तरह से इन लोगों ने हिंदू और मुस्लिमों में जो लड़ाई लड़ाने की कोशिश की थी, उसी आधार पर, धर्म के आधार पर इन लोगों ने राजनीति खेली, लेकिन आखिरी ना हिंदू को कुछ दे सके ना मुस्लिम को कुछ ना दे सके। और हर जगह अब उनकी हार तय हो चुकी है। मुझे एक बीजेपी के वरिष्ठ नेता मिले थे, उन्होंने कहा कि 150 के पार भी मोदी सरकार नहीं जा सकती क्योंकि लोगों में गुस्सा है। और इसलिए मैंने देखा कि आज जैसे हरियाणा के मुख्यमंत्री है, उनको भी चुनाव में लड़ा रहे हो, जहां बीजू जनता दल से उन्हें इनको झटका दे दिया तो उसको मनाने में लगे हुए हैं। तो ये जो घोषणाएं हैं 400 के पार, अभी इनकी घोषणाएं हैं वो भी जुमला है, ये 150 के भी पार नहीं होंगे, ऐसी परिस्थितियां हैं। और हर राज्यों में आपने देखा कि हर राज्यों में दूसरे दल के लोगों को तोड़कर अपने दल में लाकर उनको टिकट देने का ये लोग जो काम कर रहे हैं, अगर इनका 10 साल में बहुत सारा काम रहता तो इनको किसी दल के लोग लाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती। लेकिन इनकी आज परिस्थितियाँ ऐसी है कि ये सत्ता के बाहर जाना तय हो चुका है। और ऐसे समय में जो समान नागरिक कानून की बात ये लोग बार बार कर रहे थे, उसकी लिपापोती करने की कोशिश की है। ये कानून तो पहले भी देश में था, इसमें कुछ नहीं, सिर्फ उन लोगों ने मुस्लिमों के लिए वहाँ से उनको हटा दिया है। तो इससे दुनिया भर के जो पाकिस्तान हो, बांग्लादेश हो या और एक देश है जो अफगानिस्तान हो, ऐसे देशों से कितने लोग जो हिंदू विचारधारा के वो कितने आएंगे वो भी एक बात है। लेकिन देश के लिए क्या हुआ, देश की जनता के लिए क्या किया, हिंदू के लिए क्या किया, मुस्लिमों के लिए क्या किया, इसका जवाब इनके पास नहीं है। और
Lastly, in a latest development, a day after the centre notified implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Act rules, the Indian Union Muslim League (IUML) today approached the Supreme Court to challenge the move. The party, primarily based in Kerala, has sought a pause on the implementation of the law, calling it unconstitutional and discriminatory against the Muslim community. Earlier, IUML had sought a pause on the implementation of the act, but the centre had then told the court that the law will not come into force because the rules had not been notified yet. The petition has said that the implementation of CA rules must be paused till the Supreme Court rules on 250 pending petitions against the constitutional validity of the act. The preamble of the Constitution envisages that India is a secular country and therefore any law passed has to be religion neutral, the petition says. The centre's announcement last evening prompted celebrations as well as protests in several parts of the country. Members of the Matua community in Bengal and Sindhi refugees living in Bhopal held celebrations after the announcement. In some other areas, however, the public mood was different. Protests erupted in Assam, which has been protesting against the new citizenship rules on the ground that it will lead to a large-scale migration into the border state. In other areas of the country, protesters allege that the law is discriminatory against the Muslim community. The opposition has targeted the ruling BJP over the timing of the Act's implementation weeks before the Lok Sabha polls. That's all we have for now. Keep watching Hornbill TV.